Long time ago, when the sun smiled warmly at a lovely village, there lived a woman named Nana. Everyone said Nana was so pretty, like the brightest star in the sky. Men from near and far wished they could be her husband because of her beauty. But Nana, she had eyes for just one man. This wasn't a prince or a rich merchant. No, it was Saka. Saka wasn't rich. He didn't live in a big house or wear shiny clothes. He was a farmer, but oh, he was handsome. His smile was like the sunrise, and his heart was as big as the moon. So when it was time for Nana to pick who she wanted to marry, she picked Saka. Some people were surprised, but Nana knew her heart, and her heart said Saka was the one. They had a big wedding with dancing, singing, and lots of yummy food. Everyone in the village came to see and said, "Ah, what a beautiful love story." Not long after, Nana and Saka got a gift better than gold, better than a big house. They had a baby girl. They named her Tina. Tina was so beautiful, even more than Nana, if you can believe it. When people saw Tina, they said, "Wow, she's like a little sunbeam." And that's how our story begins, with Nana choosing love over everything else, and with Tina, a little girl destined for great things, lighting up their lives. As time danced on, Tina grew, not just in years, but in beauty and spirit. She was like a flower that blooms so bright, everyone stops to look. Her smile could light up the darkest night, and her laugh was like music on the wind. Tina loved to dance. Oh, how she loved it. When she danced, it was as if the world stood still to watch. She swayed and spun, her feet barely touching the ground, her joy spreading like sunshine. The village knew they had a special gem in Tina, and her dancing became their pride. At festivals near and far, when Tina stepped up to dance, people would gather like clouds before a storm, eager to witness her magic. She danced with the passion of the wind, with the grace of a river. And every time, without fail, she was the star that shone the brightest. Her dancing won her prizes, gold, jewels, and more. But it wasn't the treasures that made Tina's heart sing. It was the chance to bring honor to her village, to make her family proud. And proud they were. Her parents beamed with joy, their hearts full of love for their daughter, who had become the talk of not just their village, but lands beyond. Tina, with every step, every twirl, weaved her story into the fabric of her village's history. Her gift of dance was more than just a talent. It was a bridge connecting hearts, a melody that echoed through the mountains and valleys, telling the tale of a young maiden whose spirit was as free as the wind and as beautiful as the dawn. In the village and the ones around, there was a big festival that happened only once every 10 years. It was so special that everyone talked about it, even long before it started. Now Tina, who had grown into a very beautiful young lady and loved to dance, heard about this big festival. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. She wanted to go. She wanted to dance there. But Nana, her mother, had a worried look on her face. She knew something about this festival that made her scared. "Tina," she said, "this festival, it's not like the others. Strange things happen there, things we don't understand." Tina listened, but her heart was already dancing at the festival. She begged, "Please, mother, I'll be careful. I want to show the world our village's dance." Nana looked into Tina's eyes, full of dreams and sparkle, and finally nodded. "Okay, my child, go. But don't forget who you are, no matter what happens." So, with her mother's words like a gentle hug around her, Tina prepared for the festival. She practiced her dances, picked her most beautiful clothes, and when the day came, she was ready. With a heart full of dreams and a little bit of nervousness, Tina along with her friends, set off to the festival that was talked about by everyone. It was a journey filled with laughter and songs, with Tina's excitement shining brighter than the sun. They passed by fields of gold, under skies so wide, and through forests whispering stories of old. As they arrived, the festival was everything Tina imagined, and more. Colors everywhere, music filling the air, and people from far and near, all gathered for this once-in-a-decade celebration. But as they joined the festivities, little did Tina know, her life was about to change in ways she couldn't even imagine. For this festival, with all its beauty and joy, held a secret twist that would test Tina, just like Nana feared. The festival was in full swing, with drums beating like the heart of the earth and people dancing like leaves in the wind. Tina, with her bright eyes and brave heart, took her turn. She danced like she was made of light, moving so beautifully that even the moon would stop to watch. Everyone cheered for Tina. "Look at her dance. Have you ever seen anything like it?" they whispered in amazement. And when the time came to announce the winner, there was no surprise. Tina had won. Her heart soared with joy. Her friends hugged her, laughing and cheering. But then, the king stood up. His voice was like thunder, and it made everyone go quiet. "Tina," he said, "for winning the festival, you get a special prize." Tina waited, her heart beating fast. Maybe more gold, maybe a crown of flowers. But what the king said next made her heart stop. "You will marry my son, the prince." Murmurs spread through the crowd. The prince? But wasn't he? Yes, the prince was not like other princes. People said he was mad, that his mind was lost in storms no one could calm. Tina's joy turned into ice. Marry the mad prince? This couldn't be. Her friends' faces went pale. But, Tina stammered, looking at the king, hoping he was joking. He wasn't. The festival, which had been full of music and laughter, felt silent. Tina's dream night had turned into something strange and scary. She had to go back to her village, to her mother, and tell her what had happened. Nana, who had warned her, who had feared something would go wrong. When Tina and her friends returned to the village and told Nana, tears filled Nana's eyes. "I feared this, my child," she said, holding Tina close. "But we'll face this together." The whole village felt a shadow had fallen over their sunbeam, Tina. Marrying the mad prince was not just a twist of fate. It was a leap into the unknown. Tina, with a heart heavy like a rain cloud, went to the palace. The big grand doors looked like they led to another world. A world where she would have to marry the prince, known to everyone as the Mad Prince. She was scared. But something strange and beautiful happened in that palace. The prince, with eyes like a stormy sea, wasn't just the mad prince everyone talked about. Yes, he had moments when he would shout at the shadows or laugh at something only he could see. But there were also moments, more and more of them, where he was just a young man with a kind smile and a lonely heart. Tina and the prince started talking, first about little things like the flowers in the garden or the color of the sky, then about bigger things like dreams and fears. Tina found herself laughing with the prince, feeling less alone, and the prince, who had been so lonely in his big cold palace, found a friend in Tina. Day by day, something fragile and beautiful grew between them. It wasn't just friendship, it was love. A love that didn't mind about madness or fear. A love that was about seeing the person inside the real person. Back in her village, Nana missed Tina so much it hurt. She decided, I need to see my Tina. So she gathered her courage and some friends, and they all went to the palace. Nana arrived at the palace gates, her heart pounding with anticipation. She had traveled far, driven by the longing to see her daughter, Tina. As she stepped into the grand halls of the palace, her eyes searched eagerly for the child she had missed every single day. Nana introduced herself to the king, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "I am Tina's mother, here to see my daughter," she said. The king, sensing the depth of her plea, nodded in agreement. Moments later, Tina appeared, walking towards her mother, her steps hesitant yet hopeful. By her side was the prince, known to many as the Mad Prince, his presence causing a stir among those gathered. As Nana's gaze fell upon the prince, a gasp escaped her lips. There on his forehead was a mark, a birthmark identical to the one Tina and she herself bore. Time seemed to stand still as Nana's voice broke through the silence. "He is my son. The prince is my son," she declared, her words echoing off the walls of the palace. Whispers filled the air, some doubting, others curious. People thought, Nana has gone mad too. But she kept saying it. "He is my son, Tina's twin." Nana, undeterred, demanded to see the mother of the prince. The king, now intrigued and concerned, summoned his second queen, Simbi. Simbi approached, her steps slow, her head bowed, unable to meet the gaze of those she faced. Nana's heart clenched as she recognized Simbi. Simbi was once her neighbor in the village. She came into the village a long time ago to stay, then disappeared later, with no one knowing her whereabouts. Now the woman standing at the heart of her family's secret pain. Nana's voice trembled as she recounted the day of Tina's birth, the day she was told she had given birth to twins, a boy and a girl. But only the girl, Tina, survived. The truth, however, was far more complex, as Simbi, in her ambition, had conspired with the midwives, taking the boy, the prince, for herself, leaving Nana to mourn a child she thought she had lost. Simbi did this because she was already married to the king during that time, and the king had promised to do anything for any of his queens who first gave him a male child. The king, faced with this tale of deception, turned to Simbi for answers. Cornered by the truth, Simbi confessed, her schemes unraveling before the eyes of the court. She had taken the boy, bribing the midwives, all to secure her position within the palace. With the truth out, something miraculous happened. The prince, with tears in his eyes, hugged Nana and Tina. It was as if the truth, that bond of family, healed something in him. The madness that had clouded his mind started to lift, like fog in the morning sun, and the prince was back to his normal senses. With the secret out in the open, the palace was abuzz like a hive stirred by the wind. Nana, standing strong, told the tale of two babies born under a moonlit sky. One girl, one boy, twins. But a wicked plan by Simbi, one of the king's queens, had torn them apart. She wanted her son to be the firstborn, the future king. So she had taken the boy, leaving the girl with Nana. The prince, with the truth shining in his heart, looked at Tina, his sister, and saw himself. The madness, like a shadow, started to fade away. It was as if knowing where he came from, knowing he had a family, a twin, filled the missing pieces of his puzzle. The king, his heart heavy with regret for the pain caused, decided it was time to make things right. He looked at the reunited family and said, "You have shown us the power of truth and love. It's time you go back to your village, to your home, with my blessings and gifts." The palace, once a place of secrets and sorrow, became a place of celebration. Tina, the prince, and Nana, their bond stronger than ever, prepared to return to their village. The king gave them gifts, gold, and promises of protection. As for Simbi, the queen who had caused so much pain, she faced her punishment. Banished, her deceitful plan had led to her downfall. And so, our tale ends not just with a reunion, but with a lesson that truth and love, like light, will always find a way through the darkness. The village, once just a place on a map, became a legend, a story told from generation to generation about the twins who defeated deceit and madness with the power of their bond. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, share it with your family and friends, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.